I had seen wild hogs caught in traps before, but I had never witnessed anything as intense as that morning. Steel wires pulled tight, soil torn apart, deep heavy roars echoing through one corner of the woods. The entire net system shook as the hogs thrashed, trying to break free. It all started because a cornfield had been destroyed. And the damage was no longer isolated, but clear proof that a large, organized sounder was operating nearby. Out in the cornfield, a herd of hogs was tearing through everything. Stalks lay flattened, leaves crushed under hooves, roots ripped from the damp soil. In just a few hours, rows of green corn were churned up as if heavy machinery had plowed through overnight. The farmer had tried multiple measures, but none of them were enough to stop the destruction. An older hunter in the village explained the real issue. This herd had a very smart lead boar. He guided the group into the fields and pulled them out before sunrise. If nothing was done quickly, the entire harvest would be lost. Realizing how serious it was, we chose to launch a coordinated operation instead of reacting in small, scattered attempts. The goal was not just to scare them off, but to control the whole herd. That morning, we split into smaller teams. First, we placed small rectangular box traps near residential edges. The steel frames were welded solid on all four sides and covered with thick mesh on top. The gate was built with a drop mechanism that would release once enough weight was inside, ensuring that when the full group entered, the exit sealed shut instantly. As night fell, the forest air grew heavy. Through the cameras, we watched the hogs appear one by one, more than we had expected. They moved naturally into the trap area, unaware of anything unusual. Then the system triggered. The gate dropped cleanly. The herd had finally been secured. Before we could settle, word came that the larger corral traps were activating as well. Metal impacts echoed from the valley below. It wasn't just one success point, but multiple traps engaging in sequence. That night, we brought a bigger group under control than anticipated, immediately easing pressure on the fields and the nearby community. The next morning, standing close, I could finally see their size clearly: thick shoulders, scarred snouts, heavy muscle rolling beneath coarse hide. These were not just crop-raiding animals, but long-time survivors of the wild. Even after the damage they caused, every step of handling had to follow regulations and remain humane. Control does not mean carelessness. On our way out of the forest, we stopped at a net trap set along a trail the hogs regularly used. Steel posts had been driven deep into the ground to anchor the frame, and thick netting was stretched tight at every connection point. When the trigger released, the net closed simultaneously, forming a secure enclosure. This setup relied on their herd movement behavior and allowed the entire group to be controlled safely and in sync. From that point on, the strategy shifted from chasing the herd to controlling movement routes. We studied trails, forest gaps, and freshly disturbed soil, all signs of fixed travel paths. Traps were positioned at natural gateways the hogs had to pass through. No unnecessary noise, no lingering human scent, no half-finished interventions. Patience became the deciding factor. In remote areas, large corral traps were installed to disrupt movement patterns, forcing the herd to change direction before reaching farmland. Closer to crops and residential zones, systems were designed for fast closure and clean control, preventing a single hog from breaking off and pushing deeper. Every control point was based on observed behavior, not luck or impulse. In the end, what mattered most was not the number of hogs secured, but the restoration of boundaries and the return of peace of mind for local families. Proper control protects crops without creating unnecessary conflict with nature. If you find this approach effective, leave a comment and follow the channel to join us in the next operation.